Mic check. Mic check. Okay. Alright, so that's good. I just wanted to really check if my computer was able to handle it. And it seems like it is, so that's good. Thank you, Cairo, for being here and your daily fox redeem. But yeah, so this is the outfit that I chose for her. It's very cute. Those are her pants and stuff, and her shoes are cute. Let me see if I can show you her feetsies. The feetsies are like this. These are her shoes. So let's move them up a little. Those are her shoes. They're cute. Yeah. Bring her down a bit. Don't want her to be too big or too close. This is her bottom outfit. So these are the colors. I think these were, you know, I did a good job with picking the colors here. And her shirt, the tail. Let me do something real quick. What's this? Okay, 3. There we go. So her tail wags and stuff like that. Hold on. Alright. There we go. Here. Put her back here. So, okay. This is Shoujo 0.1 or 10. 10. So as we grow, we can get another one that's more custom and has everything that I like. I like the two tailwinds model. Twin tails model. There we go. There we go. Anyway, I'm just gonna talk while this video plays because this is a test and I just want to see if it runs and it doesn't like make my computer take a poop. It's doing pretty well so far. I hope everybody's having a good day. I will start doing more like I guess reactionary content on YouTube. So that might be fun. Like maybe I'll talk about anime, which I really like. Talk about K-pop. Maybe react to the World Cup highlights. Something, right? Because the World Cup is going on. I'm really excited about it. Korea won their first match. The second match is supposed to be today at 8 p.m. if I'm not mistaken, or 8 p.m. CST. So I'm excited about my Korea match. And I hope they win and they don't get knocked out. Because I'd be very sad if they got knocked out of the tournament. Then, the other day, I saw Japan versus the Netherlands. And it was a good game, bro. I don't know if anybody saw the World Cup or not. It was a good game. And I was really happy because at first it was like neck and neck for a while, like 0-0. And then the Netherlands, spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't seen this match, this is a spoiler alert. Anyway, so the Netherlands made a goal. And I was like, Oh no! You have to do something, Japan. You have to do something, right? And then finally, finally, Japan made a goal, and I was excited. It's 1-1. It's 1-1, but I need my Japan to win. Let me look up the score again. So then I thought for sure that it wasn't gonna be enough time for Japan to score. I thought time is running out. It's a wrap, and I'll be sad. But they made this amazing shot out of nowhere, and I was just like, I had to put my hand over my mouth. I was so shocked that they made the score, and then I was like, go! And I was super happy, bro. Let me see something real quick. I'm gonna show you some of these toggles. So in Japan, let me see. When Japan made that score, this is what happened to me. I had the hard eyes, bro. I had the hard eyes. I was so excited. I was just like, oh, are you kidding, bro? Are you kidding? I was so happy. And then I was like, come on, we need one more score. We need one more score. But then there wasn't enough time. And they tied. But I think somehow Japan was first place, even though they tied. But it was pretty exciting. I can tell you that. I was really happy about that. Let's look at some more toggles real quick. Let me see. Okay. I can wave at you now. Hello. Hi, Cairo. I'm waving at you if you can hear me. Thank you for redeeming first and being here. And yeah, so that was really fun. I didn't watch the match yesterday because I'm not a big fan of Ronaldo. I'm more of a Messi fan. So if Messi is playing, I will watch the game. But if Ronaldo is playing, I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, those were the 2 games that I've watched so far. And I really think it's cute that the Japanese players, it's the Japanese players and the fans are going around in Texas and having a ball. I think that's so cute. Because they're enjoying Texas. And I am a Texan. So it makes my heart full to know that the people that I love and the country that I love my state and are having a good time. So I'm really happy about that. So yay. Yay. And I know when I go to Japan, I'm gonna nerd out, like real hardcore. I'm gonna let my otakuness out real hard. Respectfully, of course, but real hardcore life. Excuse me. Anyway, you may see me more, because unfortunately I am job hunting again, but because my job wasn't what I thought it was, and my boss was trying to force me into a position I wasn't comfortable with. And I felt like I had no choice or recourse. So I just wanted to get out of the situation before I made myself miserable. I really didn't want to be miserable. I didn't think it was fair to the kids to have a miserable teacher that didn't want to be there. And I didn't think it would be very conducive to their learning. So I made the decision to remove myself from the situation, and now I am looking for a new job. I will not go back to a daycare because I am not interested in teaching. I'm only interested in administrative work in that respect. So, I don't want to be in another situation where I get another job at a daycare and I'm thinking, oh yeah, all I have to do is be in the office and do clerical work. And then they're like, oh, well, we're short. Can you do this? And I'm like, no, I can't. I can do the job that I was hired to do, and that's it. I'm all for being a team player. I'm all for helping out. But when people start taking advantage of your willingness to help, that becomes a problem to me. Because now I'm being put in a situation that I'm uncomfortable with. Because, and then you're trying to like basically gaslight me into believing that if I say anything about my discomfort, then I'm what is it? What's the word? I'm rocking the boat, in other words. Right? So I didn't feel comfortable after a while. And my boss kept on coming into my classroom unannounced. And like, what are you doing? Not to me, but she was doing that to the kids, and I kind of like appreciated she was trying to like help get them, you know, in order. But she would get them in order, walk out real quick, and then they would go back to what they were doing before. So it was like, you're not helping me because you're like low-key scaring them to get them to act correct. And then you leave, and then I'm here to be like, okay, let's get back to the lesson. Let's get back to this and that. Let's do this, that, and the other. And then I still have to control the situation by myself. I had no support in the classroom. Barely anything to do. The curriculum wasn't really there. Nothing. So it made me kind of upset, to be honest. Because I was just like, why are you doing this to me? Are you in anybody else's classroom at this frequency? Or is it literally just me? Or is it just the classroom itself because you know how these kids act? Either way, it made me more stressed out. I feel stressed just talking about it now. So think about it in the moment of like everything. So I just thought it was like, really, guys? Are you really gonna sit up here? I mean, like, in a way, I think her attempt to help was misguided at best. Yeah. And it actually did, I feel like, more harm than good to me. I feel like it made me feel a lot more stressed out. And I was just like, okay. Like, thanks for coming in here and everything, but for the most part, I have it under control. Other than, like, they're acting a certain way. Mind you, I received no training to be in the classroom. I had no training. I had little to no experience. And my boss put me in a classroom full of children. Knowing all those things. So I just thought it was crazy. Where she did that. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I had to make some honey tea for my throat. That was coughing up a lung. Like, your throat gets scratchy and it's like that irritating scratch feeling. That's what it was. I was just like, aha, aha, aha. And then I'm like, oh no. Anyway, it's beside the point. To go back to what I was saying. Yeah. It just wasn't for me. She didn't have very good communication skills or anything like that of that matter. Like, she was a nice enough person, but it just wasn't there. Communication skills were completely lacking. She would tell me stuff at the last minute to the point where I couldn't do anything about it. Like, she'd be like, oh, by the way, you have to do this, that, and the other. And I'd be like, okay, why would you tell me that now? Like, why didn't you tell me that before I walked into this classroom? Like, and you know that I can't go nowhere. You know that I'm stuck in this classroom once I'm in this classroom. Why would you not tell me? You know? So, yeah. That was annoying. It just, the more I like worked with her, the more I just got disillusioned with her and the job. The kids were fine. They're kids. Kids are gonna act like kids. I understand that 100%. I'm not gonna be upset with the kids because it's not the kids' fault. Kids need to be taught. And if they're not taught properly, of course they're gonna act like wild hyenas. Like, exactly. It starts at home. So, yeah. But she knew all this and then put me in this room and then left me to my own devices. So, I'm just like, okay, what are you doing, ma'am? And then the person who was supposed to be in that room quit. But before she quit, she kept on coming to work later and later and later and later. Not on time. So I was picking up the slack for her for basically the first month I worked. And then that half a month, so like 2-week period, then I became the teacher without a discussion. There was no discussion. There wasn't, hey, you're gonna switch into this role. I hope you're okay with that. How do you feel about that? Or can you do that? Are you willing to do that? None of that. It was, you're in this classroom now. Deal with it. And I dealt with it for 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks, I was like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. These kids don't listen. I don't have any support when it comes to teaching them anything. There's nothing to do in here other than play with toys, and I'm not gonna let them play with toys all day. It was raining and wet outside, so they couldn't go outside and play. None of that. So I was just like, if this is how the future is gonna go, and there's no change, and there's no one to tell me there's gonna be a change, then I can't be here. For the sake of my own psyche, I cannot be here. I have to get out. So, that's what happened. And that's why I'm job searching. It's disappointing for me because it was good hours, not good pay for what I was dealing with, to be completely honest, but it was good hours. And my previous job, I only had, thank you for the first time chat, great, and welcome in. Thank you for being here. But yeah, so for the first It just wasn't there. And I was just like, I know this isn't happening. It was kind of like being stuck in some kind of, I don't call it a waking nightmare, but it kind of was. Because, like, I didn't have the tools, I felt like, or the support to teach these children properly. You know? And because I didn't have the tools and I didn't have. That's the waving. All right. I'm learning the toggles. Anyway, but because I didn't have, or I didn't feel like I had the support of anybody there, I just had to go. Because I couldn't. Like, there was a couple of times before that I felt like I wanted to quit, but I talked myself out of it. And I said, it'll get better. Don't worry about it. It'll get better. Like, just stick it out a little while longer. You got this. It's okay. But it just started getting worse and worse. And I was with the kids longer and longer. And they were more and more rebellious and hard headed. And, you know, they did learn. They do know their numbers. They do know their ABCs. They can recite it to me. But it was just them being hard headed and thinking everything was a game and a joke. And I was like, hey, y'all, this is serious. This is school. For all intents and purposes, for you, this is school. And you need to take it seriously. And they never really did. It was few and far between that they actually took it seriously. So that made me sad. You know? And my boss basically kept on, either she was leaving me in the dark or she was lying to me about what was going on. Like I said, my coworker before who was in that class quit. That can be definitely a lot, right? Yeah. And I would, you know, I'm very introverted. So I find it hard to confront, right? So I'm learning boundaries. Even at work, I'm learning boundaries. So I said, I finally got up the nerve to say, hey, do you know when she's coming? And then she would be like, she's on her way. My boss, she's on her way. And it would be 30 minutes, an hour and a half. 2 hours would pass by, and then she would finally show up. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know? You and me and you both? Yeah. So, and then the girl acted like she didn't do anything wrong. She wasn't 2-3 hours late, and everything was normal. So then she wanted to like buddy with me after that. And I was like, I'm stressed out, first of all. Second of all, I'm not happy that you've been so late because I had to sit up here in your class dealing with your kids because you weren't here. And I'm not supposed to be in this room. I'm supposed to be in the office. Right? And then, so sometimes just to not be mad, I would have to walk out and go to the office and sit down and relax. Mind you, this kept happening. And then one time, she took so long to get there. I saw her, she walked into the room. I didn't say a word. I walked straight out of the room. And I was like, I didn't even say anything to her. I didn't address her or anything. And then she acted like, you know, brand new after that. And I was like, you should not be acting brand new. I was the one that had to deal with your mess. I was the one that had to clean up your mess. What are you talking about? So I was trying to be friendly afterward because I felt better. And I felt kind of bad because I walked out without saying anything. Okay. So I tried to like make up for it. Then she wanted to act like she wanted to ignore me. And I was like, whatever, man. We're not even friends. We're coworkers. And I don't even know you like that. So, okay. You do you, boo. And then she finally kind of got over it and started talking to me. And then the next day, I'm in the class with the kids, right? And one of the kids, I don't know how truthful this is because they are kids and kids make up stories and they want to like some of my former kids are instigators, so they like to make mess. So kid comes up to me and says, "Oh, Miss So and So was mad at you the other day." And I was flabbergasted. I was like, I know that this person wasn't mad at me when she was the one that was at fault. And I was clearly mad because I had every right to be mad. I was in your classroom taking up for you, pulling your slack because you don't know how to get to work on time. And you're going to be mad at me? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Anyway. So then after that, I guess she was interviewing or whatever. I don't know. And then all of a sudden, she gets put on suspension, which basically is a nice way of saying, I'm going to get, firing you without firing you, making you quit. Okay. That happened. She didn't come back. I know, that is crazy, right? That's crazy. Yeah. And then, anyway, after that, she's gone. She's not coming back. And then my boss, who basically had been lying to me from day one, doesn't even talk to me about this. She just says, "Oh, now you're in this class." And then I'm like, okay. So now she has basically forced me to be the full-time teacher. And I had no say in it. No say whatsoever. It was just I went from being an administrative assistant to a teacher. Mind you, like I said before, I had absolutely no training at all. The last time I taught children was 10 years ago in Korea. And in Korea, children act different. They have home training. They do not run around and do all this crazy stuff. Now, granted, children are still children in Korea. You might have one or two. Oh, okay. Let me know when you're back from the ad. Anyway, I'll catch you up when you come back. Yeah, props to you for dealing with that. Yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy. And I put up with it for a month and a half. And then after all that craziness, OMG, you were in Korea? That's amazing. Sorry for the side tangent. No. Welcome back. We could talk about Korea too because this is a test stream. Anyway, so after I tell you this story, I could tell you about my time in Korea. But anyway, So after all that madness, then there was this one day that another person who used to work there started there again. And then she started acting like she was the administrative assistant. But there's two of us, right? And we were the administrative assistant. Now, granted, my boss never gave us any actual real responsibility. We could have been doing a lot more for her, and she did not give us that opportunity. So when this other person started, she started taking over all the stuff and bossing people around and everything else. And I was like, at first, I was like, this is better than having to deal with my boss. Because at the time, my boss wasn't there, right? My boss finally shows up. Mind you, she's just as late as this other girl was. But I guess it's okay because she's the boss, right? And then I kind of like panic. I didn't like have a breakdown or anything, but I just said to myself, I can't deal with this anymore. Like, I gotta get out of here. But I knew I couldn't because I was the only one in the classroom. So I had to stay there until somebody else showed up. So I make it through the rest of the day. Mind you, my stomach is hurting at the end of the day, and I don't really know why. But I make it through the rest of the day. I come home, I try to relax, because I still have 2 days left, right? Then, after that, I wake up in the morning and I'm not gonna tell you what happened, but it was bad enough to make me call in sick. And I was just, my stomach was not in a good mood that day. And it was all day long. And it was to the point where I couldn't work. Like, I couldn't be in the classroom with what I was dealing with. And I don't know how to say it delicately, so I'm not gonna say it at all. But it was tummy issues for real. Anyway, I have to call in because I can't go to work like this. I can't be stuck in a classroom for 4, 5, 6 hours with this issue because I have to go to the bathroom. When I have to go to the bathroom, I can't wait. If I wait, something bad might happen to me. And I'm like, oh, I can't deal with that. So I called in. My new coworker is like, oh, you'll need a doctor's note. And I was like, okay. So it wasn't bad enough to go to the doctor. Mind you, I have no insurance. If I would have went to the doctor, it would have cost me a whole lot of money, and money I don't have to spend on that. Especially not for a situation that's not like extreme enough for a doctor's visit. So my boss calls me and says, oh, well, if you don't have a doctor's note, I'm going to write you up because this is your second unexcused absence. Mind you, the first time I was absent, my neighborhood flooded and I couldn't get out of my neighborhood. And when I called in for that day, she was like, you have to be here. You have to be here. Oh my gosh, you have to be here. Yeah, it is very expensive, right? And I was like, there's nothing I can do. I'm stuck in my neighborhood. It's raining and it's flooded. There's nothing I can do. So I didn't go to work that day because I couldn't. I was stuck in my house. All right. The second time, I, again, could have had accidents at work, which I did not want to do. right? So let's just say accidents. So I had to call in for that. And then she said, well, this is your second time. So you'll get written up if you don't have a doctor's note. And I felt like that was the last straw. I was like, I've already been lied to for a month and a half. You've already lied to me for a month and a half. And I've dealt with that lying for a month and a half. Then I had to deal with the kids for a month and a half. Now, when I'm sick, you want to punish me for being sick. So I was like, this isn't gonna happen. It seems like leaving that job was a good move. I know, right? I feel like I made the right decision, even though I need to look for another job so I can make some money, right? But yeah, I felt like it was a good move too, because I was like, how are you gonna punish somebody for being sick? Nobody can help being sick. It's not like we go around and say, hey, I'm gonna get sick today. And mind you, I'm around children that cough and sneeze and put their hands all over stuff and everything. So of course I'm gonna get sick. So yeah, that's what happened. And that's what I've been dealing with. And I couldn't stream. I couldn't play video games. I could barely draw. I would come home, try to relax as best I can, and then I'd have to go to sleep and do the whole thing all over again. And I just couldn't do it anymore. So anyway, let's talk about Korea. So Korea, I lived in Korea for a year. It was 10 years ago. So it was 2016. And I worked for a while to save the money to move. And then I went through the whole process. It was a 6-month process. I had to get a background check. I had to get fingerprinted. I had to go through the recruiting process. I had to sign contracts. I had to get a visa. I had to get a passport. I had to do all these things. Finally get through everything. Finally sign the contract. Finally send everything back. And then finally it comes time to go. Right before I left, mind you, my mom wasn't having it at first, but I'm a grown woman. So I was like, okay, but I'm grown, so I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. And you could be upset, but there's nothing you could do about it. So I kept on talking about it, kept on talking about it, kept on talking about it. She finally came around and asked me about Korea. And I was so happy. Like, I was elated. I was like, I didn't think you would actually pay attention or actually care enough to, like, you know, be here or be supportive, in other words. Then when it was about time for me to leave, because I didn't tell my dad until, I think a week before. And I thought my dad was going to be like, what are you talking about? You can't do that, blah, 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 blah. My dad was like, you're an adult. Do what you want. I was shocked. I was like, oh, you're right. I am an adult. Thank you for understanding that. So I go to the airport, and my mom's like, I can't go in because if I go in, I'm going to burst in tears. So I went into the airport by myself. And, I went into the international terminal. And it was the first time I ever was in the international terminal. This wasn't the first time I was on a plane, but it was the first time I was leaving the country. So regardless. Yeah, my dad was like, yeah. He was really supportive about the whole thing. I was shocked. My mom came around, but my dad was like, yeah, you're an adult, man. You do you, boo. And I was like, oh my gosh, thanks, Dad. Anyway. So I'm in the airport. I'm waiting to get on the plane. It's finally time to get on the plane. Get on the plane. I have movies and Japanese movies and everything else. Oh, I think it was on my Chromebook, because I had to bring my Chromebook. At the time, I had a Chromebook. And it was a good flight. It was a 14-hour flight, but we had a layover in Japan. And I got the nerve to talk to the Korean guy that was next to me. So I was like, Hokshi, and Hokshi is like perhaps in Korean. Hokshi, Hangu, what is it? I have to think about it again, how to say it in Korean. Let me look it up real quick. It was, are you Korean? So. There's 혹시 한국어 사람입니까? So that's like, are you Korean? The guy was so shocked that I spoke to him in Korean that he kind of froze. It was the cutest thing. He kind of froze in his seat. And then we had a little conversation in Korean. And it was really fun. And then I don't think I talked to the other guy, but I talked to him for a little while. And then, you go through the flight, and you cross the international date line. I don't know if you ever have or not, but you cross the international date line, and then it's light. There's no more night. It's light. So you've crossed the international date line. It's a different time zone now. So I didn't sleep because there was no night. I stayed up for 12 hours straight. And it was because I was mostly excited. Yeah, it is nice. It's super fun. I was mostly excited, but also there was no nighttime. So I couldn't sleep. There was no nighttime. Anyway, we get to Japan, and I meet up with one of my cohorts in the program. And we talk and we hang out, and that was really nice. And then because I had trouble getting out of the terminal when I got to Japan, I got lost. But I finally found the place I was supposed to be. So when I finally get to the place I'm supposed to be, I meet my cohort, and we talk and we hang out for a little while, and she's excited and I'm excited and everything else. So mind you, I still have not slept. I'm just running on adrenaline. Anyway, by the time it was time to get on the plane, I got on the plane. I sat down. I think my cohort was behind me. And I pass out and I don't wake up until we are in Seoul. So I took a 2-hour nap. I didn't even know I fell asleep. I woke up and I was like, they were like, welcome to Incheon International Airport. And I was like, oh, okay. So it takes 2 hours to get through customs and immigration. 2 hours. a friend of mine that I had been talking to on Calco Talk meets me at the airport to help me. And I'm like, whoa, thank you, Jesus. That's really nice to have somebody meet you at the airport. You're not alone. I step out of the airport and it is summer, so it's August. And the humidity hits me in the face. It's 10 p.m. by this point. The humidity hits me in the face. And I'm like, what kind of evil is this? It was 10 p.m. and the humidity, it was hot and humid and it was 10 p.m. Sometimes you're so tired, the sleep sneaks up on you. It does, because it did. It snuck up on me, for sure. Anyway, so, we do that. And she helps me get a taxi. And I go to my hotel, which is not far away from the airport, but it's a healthy amount away. Anyway, I get to the hotel and I'm like, I gotta cool down. It's hot. And all, like, of course the doors and stuff are open. I found out you have to close all of the windows, all of the doors, turn on the AC or the aircon, because it's called aircon there. And it finally started. Oh, okay. But it finally started cooling down. And I'm like, oh, it was so hot, bro. Anyway. So, that happens. I have a good night. And then that's basically it. That was my first night. It was a year, so I have a lot of stories to tell, but I'm not going to tell them all in this stream. But that was my first night. And then, you start getting ready and you start, because I think I stayed there for a night, maybe a night or two, and then I had to go to Busan, which is the second largest city in Korea. I was in Seoul, which is the capital. Then I had to go to Busan to meet everybody else. And then after being in Busan, we went to the university that we were gonna stay at and do the orientation at. The orientation was fun, and they had a lot of good food, and you met everybody, and it was like your little English bubble. And then they said, after orientation, your English bubble is gonna pop, and you're gonna have to deal with the Korean language and stuff like that. Granted, I already spoke Korean when I got there, and had been speaking Korean the whole time. So I wasn't worried. And I proceeded not to be worried the whole time because I spoke Korean. But they weren't kidding about that. I mean, you were ripped out of your comfy, everybody speaks English bubble pretty fast. I had to learn how to use the squat toilet, which, I mean, I think it's more sanitary than a regular toilet because you don't have to touch anything. You flush it with your foot and everything. That's nice. And it's not hard to do. I mean, you're squatting anyway, so. Anyway. Hi, Lazriel. Welcome in. How you doing? How you holding up, buddy? Are you doing well? I'm just talking about Korea. Thank you so much, Lazriel. You didn't have to. Thank you for 23 months. It's almost 2 years, Lazriel. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And I'm glad you're doing better. I know it's tough for you right now, but I'm glad you're doing better. Thank you for being here. But yeah, I'm just talking about Korea stories while we watch this Korea blog, like the cafe blog. But thank you so much for almost 2 years of support. That's crazy. That's crazy. But I'm happy to see you and happy that you're here. Want you to meet my new model if you hadn't already. This is Shoujo 10. What is it? 10 or is it 1.0? 1.0. This is Shoujo 1.0. This is the two what is it? The two twin tails model. I'm saying it right. Anyway, I customized her and I think she's cute. So I'm pretty excited about it. It wasn't expensive. Oh. Okay. No, you got it. I thought it was Cairo that did it, but no, it was you. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna change it. Sorry, Cairo. I thought it was you, but it's Lazriel. Let me see. Wait a minute. I'm not the GOAT great, but thank you. I appreciate it. I spelled it right? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Hi, I'm gonna try my best to pronounce it correctly, but I have troubles pronouncing stuff. Shinengani. I know you're muted. It's okay. Dang, your new model is fluffy and poofy. Must resist urge to pats. Okay, Lazriel. Let me see something. Where is the headpats? Put it right here. Let's test it out since it's a test stream. Oh my god! Thank you for checking in. Oh yeah, we did it! We did it! We did it! Hooray! Hooray! Thank you for redeeming second. I don't know if it worked or not. I didn't see it. Let me see. Wait a minute. It should be right here. Did it work? Is it showing up? I don't know if it's showing up or not. Nothing came up? Okay, I have to fix the headpads then. Let me fix that now because this is the test. Alright, let's see. BRB. Could you hear me? Was I not talking that whole time? Anyway, welcome back, Lazriel. I'm glad you got your coffee. Enjoy your coffee. Shinigami. Can you hear me now? Oh, okay. Can you hear me now, though? Okay, good. Shinigami, if you didn't hear me, enjoy your lurk. My mic was muted, so I was talking, but I didn't realize it. You did. Cause it was muted, so I was like, oh, I'm like, yeah. But don't worry. Let's see. Trying to see if these head pads are gonna work or if I have to do it in trigger fire. Cause if I have to do it in trigger fire, I have to do it. Shiagani. Shiagani. Okay. Shiagani. Let me write that down. I'm going to write it down so I remember it. There we go. She. She. Ya. Ga. Thank you for the bits, Lazriel. You didn't have to. I appreciate it. Shi ya ga ni. Thank you so much, Lazriel, for the bits. I appreciate it. Isu. And that's from your made up language for D&D, right? I think so. The ya is more the translation, but e da. So she ya ga ya. Oh, it's your OC creation. Okay. She ya she ya ga nya. Okay. I think I got it now, and I'm gonna try to keep it. I'm gonna try to keep it in my brain. I have it written down. So, not a hard ya. Yeah. Yeah. She. Ya. Ga. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let me write it down. Because I'm visual, so that's how I learn. She. Okay, let me write it down. No, no, no. You did it. You did it fine. This is a good explanation. I appreciate it. Yeah. So it's she. Okay, I got it. She a ga iya. Keep that where I can see it. I keep forgetting that the ya is a little hard to a ya sound. Iya, yeah. Okay. Anyway, we can go back to the Korea stories. Thank you. I'm glad. I like pronouncing people's names correctly, so enjoy your lurking again. It's almost time to feed my dog, so we'll take a brief break soon. Anyway, but I like the model. The model is very cute. I like the way the colors came out. So very happy about that. Okay. Let me know when you're back from the ads. I didn't expect this to go on as long as it did. I thought this was just gonna be like a short test, but I started talking, so yeah. I am learning how to be a yapper, y'all. Can you believe it? Shoujo is learning how to be a yapper. Hope you can get your stuff working nicely. Thank you. I appreciate that. BRB. Okay, I'm back. Let me see this. Thank you for the alert. "25% say so." Bruh. Lips down through my own shadow. That's pretty cool, honestly. Let me see. The Riz. 40% Riz. I think there's more Riz there, but that's okay. Anyway, enjoy your lurk. Yeah, so that's the first like story that I can tell you. When we were in Busan, we were with like the students, but we roomed together, me and the other teachers. So I had my roommate. My roommate's name was Peyton. She was pretty nice. We figured out that the towels were small. You know how, like, in America, they have the full length towels? And I'll try to find a picture to show you. I think that should be fine. Okay, let's see. Hold on. All right. So the one in the corner, let's make it a little bigger so you can see. But the one, that blue one, is a full-size towel in America. That's what a full-size towel looks like in America. So let's see if we can find the Korean size towel. Let me see if I can find anything. You might not be able to see it, but let's look at this one here. This one right here. You see the size of this one, this baby blue one right here? That's the size they gave us to take a shower with. And that was a bit of culture shock for me because I was like, you can't cover yourself with this. All you could do is dry off. So you have to be, you have to be dressed when you come out of the bathroom. In other words. Anyway, that's the difference. I did end up going to the store and being able to buy the full size towel. But at first, this is what we were met with. And I thought that was crazy. I was like, what? That towel's not big enough. But it did dry me off, so it's fine. Anyway, that was that. It was kind of funny because it was the only shocking thing to me because I wasn't. Yeah, it's so tiny. Lazriel, the towel is so small. So I was like shocked. I was like, how am I supposed to use this thing? Right? Anyway, side point. That was my culture shock moment. The size of the bath towels. Everything else to me was normal because again, I was a K-pop fangirl at the time. I'm really into the culture and I know a lot of stuff. So everything else was normal. because I had been watching Korean dramas and everything else. So I was pretty used to everything. In theory. So, yeah, that happened. And then, went through the orientation. Everything was nice. Everybody was nice. I enjoyed it. Then we got on the bus and you had to go to your prospective city, right? My city was Gwangju, which is the 6th largest city in Korea. So we got on the bus and we headed to Gwangju. I was excited. So the first thing we did when we got to Gwangju was eat, and we had Korean food. And like Korean food in Korea. And it was some of the best food I've had in my life. It was so good. It was almost second to none. But there is a place where I live here that it reminded me of their food. So I knew their food was good because it reminded me, the food in Korea reminded me of that restaurant. That was like, girly, slay all day. Okay. Anyway. So we had a couple of pictures, we had a good time. And then we had to go to our neighborhoods. We went to our neighborhoods, got to the apartment, met my co-teacher, stuff like that. I'll tell you about my co-teacher at another time because she was an interesting character and it wasn't always good interesting. But that's for another time. Anyway, she took me to eat. She took me to the store to get food and, everything else that I needed for the apartment. And then, had my first night, turned on the aircon, watch TV. It was like a dream come true. I really enjoyed my time in Korea. I just thought it was fantastic. And I have a lot of stories to tell, but if I told them, this would be a really long stream. But you can let me know if you want to hear more. I guess I should, test out. Hi, Ui. Thank you for the hydrate. Welcome in. Let me give you a shout out before I hydrate. Hi, I'm good. I'm doing well. How are you? Oh, let me see. That's the gaming one. Hold on. I'm waving, but I gotta learn how to stop waving now. Oh, that's 5 headroom. That is that one. I'm doing fine. Just came home from work. Welcome home. Okay, I gotta figure out how to stop waving. So let's do that. Alright, waving. What did I press? Okay, 2. Alright, there we go. But, welcome home from work. I was just telling chat about Korea and my culture shock of the size of the towels versus the towels in the US. In Korea, they have really short, tiny towels. And I still have my towel from Korea on the wall. It's the towel. I can show it to you. Let me show it to you. All right. Let's see. But this towel here, wait, you can't see it yet. Let me fix that. Window capture. Here it is. Let's do this. Transform. Edit transform. Okay. There we go. And then this one. And then this one. And then this one. All right. There we go. So that one right there. This here. I was never in Korea or Japan. Would be cool to go. It's nice. It's really nice. Oh, hold on. Let me fix some stuff. Alright, let's do that. Alright. Open that. I gotta fix something. Okay, I gotta figure this out again. This is the test. So. Okay, give me a second. Let me figure this out and then I'm gonna feed my dog. Alright, guess what? 7. I'm gonna write them all down so I know. But anyway. But yeah, this is the size of the towel in Korea. Right? And now I'm gonna show you the size of the towel in America. That's how, if you can see it, might not be able to see it, but let me see. I just need an image. This is this. Can you? Well, you can see that blue one. But yeah, so the blue one is about the size, right? Let me edit, transform, reset. There we go. Hold on. All right. Why isn't it? Okay, it's not doing what I needed to do. So, give me a second. I'm pressing the wrong ones. Edit to transform. All right. Let me fix this. All right. And then we're going to do the bottom. The top should be that. And then the bottom is probably going to be like 300. 400 then. Okay. All right, there we go. You can bring this back. Oh, wait. That's not what I wanted. Let's do this. Reset. And then... All right. Now, this one. Edit. Reset. All right, there we go. So you see this brown one right here? That's the size of the tiles in the US. So it's a big difference, and I was really shocked about that when I moved to Korea. Anyway, I'm gonna take a quick break to feed my dog, and I'll be right back. BRB. Okay, I'm back. But yeah, okay. Anyway. Let me see something here. I gotta transform it a bit. And then here. Uh, okay. All right, let's see. Here. There's that one. We got the 5 head. That's the angry one. Okay, so 7 is the one that stops crying. Okay. All right. Anyway. We're learning. This is a test stream. Anyway. So. Go back to Korea. Yeah. So I went to a lot of concerts. I saw a lot of the artists I like. I saw BTS like 3 times. I went to the fan meeting. I went to a music show and I didn't know it was a music show until they were like filming. I was like, oh, hi, y'all. Anyway, I wasn't on camera, I don't think. But still, I was in the crowd. It was a music festival. So that was fun. I have to think of some different stories to tell y'all about specifically. Maybe I can look through the pictures and remember everything because it was 10 years ago. But sometimes I think about going back to teach, and then sometimes I'm like, I don't know. Because for me, like I said before, teaching is not my forte. I can do it now. And in Korea, it would be easier to do. Because again, the children are more behaved and I have support in the classroom and things like that. Anyway, let me test out a game. And I want to see if this game will play. I'm just gonna test out whatchamacall. So give me a minute. Give me a minute. It's picture in picture now. But the YT. Let's get rid of this one so you don't see that. There you go. Alright. Now I'm gonna try a game and see if the game will play while I have the model on. I am just gonna play. Well, we can play this one for a little while. Well, I have to install it. Where is Feels a Mystery? There we go. I'm gonna play Phil's a Mystria. And then I'm gonna see if this is gonna run smoothly. So let's do a game capture. All right. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. There we are. Let's see. It seems like it's gonna play just fine, so I'm happy about that. Let me do this here. There we go. All right. Okay. We could play it for a little while. Just to test it out. But do. Yes, feels a mystery. Let me see something. I have to see. Well, let me do this, and I can see chat over here then. That way I can play the game over here and then see chat over here. Yes. Okay. Anyway. Anyways, oh no. Okay, I gotta fix some stuff. Let's play. Okay. That looks weird. Hold on. I'll just change her outfit then. Because she looks like a ghoul without the eyes. I'm just going to change her eye color for now. We'll do green. And then I'll change her hair. Yeah. Okay. Want to do that, or we want longer hair? Let's do that. Alright. Okay, now she looks like a person again. Okay. Because on my other computer, I have mods. So I have to put mods on this one. But anyway, let me change the category. Ladriel, if you can you change the category to Phil's a Mystria? If not, I'll do it. It's okay. Alright. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, I'll change it. Fields Mystria. There's another game called Seeds of Calamity that I need to play, but I just got recently. Alright. I missed test. I missed is in this. This is a test, but that's fine. Let's see. This is. Alright. Update. Alright. I can spell. I promise. Anyway. So yeah, that's everything. We have the tea fields and then this is summer. So it's already like 7 p.m. But I can get these. Come on, let me have those. Okay. I play this a lot on my other thing, my Steam Deck. I gotta remember all the buttons. I gotta remember all the buttons. Okay, so everybody's already taken care of. 8 o'clock. It's Thursday. It's not Friday night at the end. So, do we have anything that we need to sell? Let's see. I mean, it's doing well, so I'm very happy with the model, and the model is working well with whatchamacallit. Let me know if it's too loud, like the game is too loud. Let me check. Give me a second. Mic check. Okay. I think it's fine. Anyway, we have anything to sell. I have this to sell. And I need to take that to the whatchamacall, the museum. You'll notice that I'm not the best with words. I'll be like the whatchamacall, the whoojamacallager. The name with words. You know, word names. The stuff of naming stuff. Identifying objects. Alright. I gotta do the mods on here too. But anyway, I'm not gonna do that right now. Anyways, I'm not gonna play for too long, but I just wanna test this out really. I still have my icebox and stuff, so what happened to my hair? I had split dye hair, so I think I have to update the hair then. Anyway. Alright. Let's go ahead and go to sleep. start a new day. We made some money today. That's good. It's Friday. Player in game. All right. Now we gotta do our chores and stuff. All right. Feed our cat. Okay. Thank you. Our cat's name is Kiro. I have to see if that mod is back up. Cause there's a mod for Fields of Mystria where you can make him look like Kiro Beerus from Cardcaptor Sakura. I love it. Anyway, let's see. I am gonna put some stuff in the ice box. Jasmine tea, green tea, rose tea. Let's put this in here and this in here. I'm gonna put this in here. And that can go somewhere else. Let's see. Open. That there. Alright. Well, we need this flower too. There we go. Perfect. Now, let's do this. We got a letter. What does our letter say? Ooh, we got a rose tea. So, I was so pleased to see the tea you grew at the general store this morning. Thought you might like this recipe for rose tea. It's one of my favorites. Thanks again, Josephine. So we got a recipe for it. Nice. Alright, let's see. Where is our recipe? We're gonna learn it. Yeah. Now we need roses. We got tea, we just need roses. We do. That'll take care of our watering. And I need to go into town. Is any of this harvestable yet? No. That's still growing. That's our corn. Okay, let's see what we need to get our honey. Alright, let's see. What flowers do we need? I gotta see it. I know I have the flower. I'm pretty sure I do anyway. It's not the same flower. Where is this flower, man? Okay. Gonna find it if we have it. Yes, here it is. I knew I had one. Oh, I need to bring that in there, and I need this one too. I need to change that over to here then. Let's go outside and give this flower to get our honey. I'm so excited to have the bottle now, because I've wanted this model for a long time. So, to finally have it makes me really happy. Alright. Let's put this stuff up. We got that. That's growing. Alright. I have to see what that is. I have to update these mods for sure, but anyway. Let's put this in here. And this. Is the honey in here? Honey is in here. Perfect. Alright. Let's feed our animals. And then we're gonna go and drop off this stuff at the museum. Alright. Alright. Let's get our stuff. Alright. We can have a peach. That's so nice. You like peaches? I have a llama, bro. That's so cute. Anyway. We can have a pear. Okay. And then one more pear. Let me see. Oh, well, I have a lot of those though. Right. It's just because the mods aren't in this game. There we go. I know how to press buttons, I promise. Anyway. Alright. So what we need in here, we have our regular food. I wonder if it still works even though the mod isn't here. We have food. I just have to get some more. Okay, so let's do that. Ah, we already did that one though. I think that should be everybody though. We'll put this back in here. All right. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. Oh wait. Where's the hard eyes one? I don't want the hard eyes. Hard eyes. I didn't press page down. Alright, there we go. Anyway. Wait a minute. Now it's okay. It's gone. There we go. Alright. Figuring it out. I mean, it's going pretty well. Hey, Benny. The dog walked in. How you doing, Benny? Anyway, the only thing I wish there was more of for this one is I wish I could have had the option to have one more tail. That would have been perfect, but you're meeting Shoujo as she is a younger person and doesn't have the extra tail yet. So. Later, she will have the extra tail. Inspect. Alright, let's see what else we can get. A bow. Ooh, a vegetable quiche. And 2 things of cheese. And there's a rabbit halo. Alright. Come here, Benny. Benny, come here. Alright. Now. How is it that late already? I didn't do anything today except my normal chores. I gotta go to the inn. Oh, I guess I need to fix these mods because I don't have anything for my other computer. That's why. Here it says. There we go. Donate. 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 Okay, we got 2 more. Anyway. I gotta go to the. What is this? Is this something I want to catch? Let's see. Nope. I didn't need that one. Now it's like 10:30. They gotta go to the inn. Here we go. Let's do gossip. I think you're gonna like this one, Shoujo. Oh, so he likes perfect silver ore. Hey, we can get that. Alright. Thank you. 1 week has passed and your group of circumstances have gathered at a diner. Circumstances? Why would you call them circumstances? They're people. Your shared purpose is to find answers to the mystery of Penelope love struck, but a second close is brunch. Oh, that's okay. Sorceress Annalise finds a refreshing morning salad. It's the most efficient way to keep her mana topped up. Okay. Gold Wolf thinks Annalise is not very well versed in the intricacies. Is that how you say it? Intricacies of mana management. Maybe she like pointers. Annalise isn't about to start taking magical instruction from a barbarian. Pass those hard-boiled eggs, Chip. They look so good after a long morning of muscle prayers at the temple bench press. There's a bench press at the temple, chat. Alright, enough chit-chat. Penelope was a regular at this very diner. I've been showing this drawing of her around. That man at the counter had a very interesting reaction. Gold Wolf thinks his reaction may be due to your terrible drawing. It's quite abysmal. Ah, everyone's a critic. I rolled to serendipitously observe this suspicious man. What's an 11 do for us? The fellow keeps peeking over at you, but he's awful subtle about it. It's only due to your years of experience that you notice. Oh, should I not be waving at him? No, you shouldn't be waving at him. You shouldn't. Bro, don't wave at him. Don't. That's why he's getting his things together rather quickly. We should follow him. Yeehaw, it's on. We'll find you, Penelope. Okay, that was fun. Alright, what's the boo thing thinking of? That's Reina. Okay. Oh, I'm so excited for this. Welcome everyone. We'll be indulging in a new dessert every week. Our inaugural words. Our inaugural dish is a local favorite. Mysterian berries and cream. I can tell you, I've traveled far and wide, and I've never seen fluffier cream than this. And the berries, that zing. Did you forge these yourself, Hayden? Sure did, with a helping hand. Wing from Henrietta. So, what do you think, Shoujo? Pretty good, right? Even I have to admit it's pretty good. Speaking of which, where'd the funding for this dessert club come from? We have a mysterious benefactor, one who prefers to remain anonymous. More berries, I say, more cream. Oh, we got that. Okay, good. Alright, Who else are we talking to right now? I tell you, this clown is haunting me. After the detective club's observation last week, I haven't been able to stop thinking about this painting. Me either. I asked Elin to look up the artist, and it turns out she did almost 300 portraits during her life, mostly of nobility. There's something about the subject underneath all the clown makeup. He seems almost familiar. I was thinking the same thing. Odd. That's quite unlikely. The painting is over 200 years old. Do you suppose this clown is some kind of immortal creature of the night? Oh, that doesn't sound good. That's Dale's talk. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Celine. There's something about this joint in the frame. Oh, it's a sliding blah blah. It's a sliding, oh my gosh. It's a sliding panel. There's a slip of paper inside. I'll read it. Do I tell the truth or do I lie? My true nature I must deny. If revealed, 'twould gain naught but scorn. My true name is, it ends there. Ba 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 ba. Okay. That's very mysterious. You don't suppose that this clown is an immortal creature? Did she just say that? Alright. Yeah, I need to go. Okay. Market's tomorrow. Maybe I'll stop in and find a little gift for Josie. That's sweet. Let's go back before it gets too late. Alright. 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 There we go. So I'm gonna call it there. And because I gotta get something to eat. And I need to fix some stuff like the head pats thing. I think I'm just gonna put it on what is it? Mix it up. But thank you everybody who came by. Thank you everybody who said hi and visited. Thank you for the bits, Lazriel. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the 23 months of support. I really, really appreciate it. It's been almost 2 years. That's crazy. And yeah. I should be streaming tomorrow. If you were here earlier, you heard what happened. So I'll be streaming more because I'm job hunting right now. If you want to hear the whole story, you can watch the VOD or DM me. I'll talk about it. It's fine. But yeah, I'm back to job hunting. So I'll be streaming a little bit more. I don't think I'll be streaming every day, but I'll be streaming more than I was. So it's going to be back to weekdays and on the weekend as well, but probably just Saturdays. We'll find somebody to raid. Here's the raid message. Wait a minute. I'm going to copy it. I hope you can copy it as well and show your love. over to where we're going. Um, we have a Discord if you want to join a cozy Discord. It's really chill. Not too much going on, but I'm there and I will interact with you if you like. We can talk. Let's see. We have a throne, no pressure. And let's see who we can raid. Let's go ahead and raid Sui so you can enjoy some cozy art. And let's see. I'm gonna give Sui a shout out before we raid. This is where we're going. I need to do this one more time. And I will see you all probably tomorrow. Maybe around the same time. I don't know when I started streaming. I don't know what time. So it'll probably be around the time that I started. It'll be earlier, but I'm not sure. I'll let you know for sure. And I will see you all tomorrow. If something comes up, I'll sure to let you know. Bye. Stick around for the raid. Little logs.